Well, welcome to another video of the DKS Group. This is our weekly roundup, and like I said to you before, I'm actually quite enjoying these roundups. It gives me a chance to chat to every facet of the business, to ring back to the office, because as some of you know, I'm based up here in Norfolk and the office is based down in Essex. We've got consultants and we've got coaches that we utilise virtually across East Anglia. We've got some down in Bury St Edmunds, we've got some across in Cambridge, and obviously some of our connections and our businesses are slightly more further afield. And it's been really good, and it's something that I said to you some time back about taking my own medicine, to ring up and to go, what's the team doing? How are the team engaging? So anyway, let's jump straight into this video and let's tell you what we've been up to and what we're doing. Now, the most important thing with any business is that you connect and you talk and you develop and you grow. So, as I said, rung back to Essex, spoke to the horse transport team. They've been out, they've been over to our favourite venue, Codden Park. Now, it's a place that we've got a long-standing partnership, a sponsorship with. For the equines, they've got cross country, they've got show jumping, and they've got dressage. Obviously, that's easy to do in these COVID times. The horse goes onto the horse box, everything gets wiped down. The drivers and our team that are in their bubble take the horse to the venue. It has its lesson, or it does jumping or whatever. The horse comes back in the horse box. No mixing, no matching, absolutely brilliant. And as per normal, sterilise the horse box and the trailer. Now, I mentioned last time we'd got a trailer to try. The bonus of buying new equipment and keeping up to date is that, you know, everything works, everything's simple, everything's nice. And it's something that the team was saying, the customers are really liking the new trailer. It's got a new style suspension and it's brilliant. So nice and simple, we're working. The horse transport's absolutely doing brilliantly. They've been really busy. So can't complain with that. The trucks, obviously, you know, I have a fascination and a passion with the big HGVs. And some of you said, and you scared us a little bit with this conversation you were saying about how the cyclists, one, were going to get right of way and the highway code was going to be changing. And secondly, what was more kind of scary was that all of our prices for our goods and everything are going up. And I went, yeah, that's true. And it's something that the last week as a roundup, talking to businesses, talking to hauliers, going, what exactly are you going to do with this London vision? So basically what you've got is you've got London, you've got the inner circle of London, which is the ultra low emission, then you've got the low emission, which is the north circular, south circular, and then you've got the M25, which is a ring around. Obviously you get that. So that's going to be the charges, the daily charges, not just the congestion charge, the low emission charge, the ultra low emission charge, and now the London vision is going to come out to the M25. So your own cars, bikes, trucks, vans, lorries are going to pay to go inside the M25. So you think you just drop down the slip road, pop round and then come back up. Ching, ching, charge, charge. So like I said, and it's been a conversation I've had with several clients and a couple of hauliers, they don't want to be anywhere near London. You know, £100,000 trucks they've got to replace, and it's been ongoing that, no, would it be put off, would it be put off, would it be put off? No, it isn't. The congestion charge is moving out to the M25, the emission charge is moving out to the M25, and the London vision is moving out to the M25. So imagine that you are, you know, you're a business. Everything that gets delivered into you, everything, food, drink, clothing, shelter, everything gets delivered by a truck in this country. Prices have just gone up. Well, hang on a minute. Everything. The biggest distribution centres, TNT, FedEx, Tesco's, Amazon, Sainsbury's, Morrison's, Waitrose, vroom, all their prices have gone up. So sometimes as a collective, we need to understand that, and it's passionate for me that during this week, the hauliers have done so much through COVID. They've been running, they've been keeping the shops filled, they've been taking medical supplies, they've been making sure there's fuel, they've been making sure they've got this, they've been making sure the parcels are delivered. And once again, they get absolutely screwed. Get fined for this, they get fined for that, they get charged for this, they get charged for that, and they get blamed for this. And then they've introduced smart highways. They can't get any facilities, they can't get food, they can't get drink, they've got to wear a mask for this and a mask. is silly, and the haulage industry are kind of basically expanding, they're growing, it's business, it's absolutely amazing, but they're at the wit's end to go, why can't people just take them seriously? You know, the guys are more qualified than you know what to do with. And you're going to go, oh, yeah, no, you do not understand the laws, the legislations, the training that some of the hauliers and their drivers have got to go to. They can spend 20 odd years driving a truck, and then they've got to spend a week in a classroom with somebody that can't drive to teach them how to do classroom stuff for them to go back out into the road. I'd love to see some of the car drivers do that, because that would make a lot more interesting. But, so yeah, it's been a busy week for me with the trucks. We then talk about the coaching. Now, the coaching, I've listened in on a few coaching sessions, and as I said in our last video, we've joined in with a Reiki kind of practitioner and a spiritual healer, and we've got a specialist lady that looks after lady relationships and bits and pieces. And I've listened in with a coaching session. Now, I do a bit of coaching myself. I've got NLP, psychology, hypnotherapy, qualified in all of that. But it's always nice to hear somebody else's perspective. And what coaching is, and I've said it a few times, and this week was very apparent, was that you're taking you from where you are, wherever that is, whatever that journey starting place is, wherever you are now, your whole life has got you to right here and right now. And you want to go forward. And I've said it's like a sat-nav, and I was criticised a little bit by some in the coaching industry and went, no, you've got, and I went, no, where you are to where you want to be. Type into a sat-nav, I want a destination, Scotland, France, England, Ireland, wherever. Just type the destination in. Be a little bit vague and go, I want to go to there. And the sat-nav does its best to program a route to help you. Now, as a coach, and I've watched a few this week and I've had a few coaching sessions, understanding where you are, what's got you to here is results. And we like results because they can then base our future on a set of results, what we've learned, what we know, to go forward from where you are to where you want to be. So all the sat-nav does is just give you a little bit of guidance. Turn left, turn right. You can decide yes or no. You can decide the speed you travel. So all a coach does, and as I say, I've watched this week, taking you from where you are to where you want to be. So you create a plan, and you create a journey, and you create a destination with your coach, and the coach keeps you accountable. And it's been really good to watch a couple of sporting clients, a couple of relationship clients, I'd call them relationships, but you know what I mean, a business executive. Now, the business executive was amazing, and it was a brilliant breakthrough, and I was able to be in that room. They've got so far as to where they are a business executive. And they keep telling that story. Oh yeah, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. Great, brilliant. What are you doing? Well, what do you mean? I've done this, I'm an executive. Where are you going? And it's something that is a mindset. Everybody wants to tell the story that they've lived. It's a story that they know. It's a story that feels comfortable. But as a coach, and me and a few of my colleagues, I want to know where you're going. And I want to know what that story sounds like. What does it look like? What's it feel like? What's it sound like to you? Tell the story right. Tell the story you're going to have a good day. Tell the story you're going to be amazing. Chapter 4 that I haven't written is going to roughly look like this. And I was really fortunate this week. I'm writing a book, as you know, and I got to chat to an author. And an author said to me, it's easy, Hand, writing the books, don't you think? And I went, yeah, to be fair, it's just me actually procrastinating. But yeah, you write down a template, you've got a whiteboard, and you go, I'd like this to happen, and this flow chart into boom. Chapter 1 leads into chapter 2, which leads into chapter 3, which leads, and then I can start writing that in a flow, and that happens, and then the book's written. And I went, yeah, the trouble is it takes over a year, but yeah, it's cool. And he said, yeah, but that's how you teach your coaching. You start with a plan, and this is what I want to do, and it works through like a flow chart. He said, I don't go back and read my last book. I know what that was all about. I know that story. I start again and write the next book. And I was like, whoa, what a metaphor. I've got to work with everybody doing that. I love the sat-nav metaphor, taking you from where you are to where you want to be, typing your destination. Now, when you're writing a book, you don't keep rewriting chapter 1 and chapter 2 because you'd never get the book finished. The great painters of the world, paint, finished, next painting. They don't go, oh no, I'll just touch that up. Van Gogh going, oh, I touch that up every week, it would never get finished. The same with your life. We've got two things in life that are destined. We're going to die and we're going to die. Up to us what we do. We've all got the same 24 hours in our life. So this week for me, the coaching has been phenomenal. A couple of breakthroughs for me, watching people just get there, get on that journey and start enjoying it. The law of attraction, the psychology, the NLP, the hypnotherapy, all joining together, the way it looks, the way it sounds and the way it feels. Phenomenal. So that leads us a little bit on to the business development. So I would say we were working with an executive, so there's a little bit of a overlap. Business development, creating solutions to empower you and your business. You've heard me say that, that's the ethos of the whole DKS Group. The brand, the image and the customer experience. Now we've got still some places with this COVID, people aren't thinking, and I had a couple of clients that said, we loved watching your video and telling us how to get around the store, making that one-way system, and we realised that actually we hadn't done it. And it was a bit like having a mystery shop, old school mystery shop. And it's one thing I was talking to the gardener about the other day. Sometimes we've got to learn from history and then we adapt and we change and we go forward, we tell the story right. Well, we used to do old school mystery shopping, go in, was I served correctly, did the person have their badge on, did they upsell, did they do this? We've learnt from that, so we change and we go, oh, it's COVID. Can I walk around this store safely? Am I able to touch stuff? Are there warning signs? What am I able to do that keeps not only my staff and my customers safe? And then how do I create this environment? How do I politely encourage and engage them to develop more with the business? I was fortunate, I went out to a bowling alley and snooker venue, and they had walked through, and it was part of why I was there, and walked through, does this work, does this work, does this work? Trying to entertain, trying to keep the customers, the brand looked good, the image was good, and the experience and the advocates, what could they do? Feedback, what could they improve to create this experience in this climate that would still be as good and people would still come back. Business is about your staff and your customers. Without your staff engaging with the customers and having a relationship and everything's being comfortable with what they're doing, and it's like I've said a million times, you as a leader create the environment, you as a leader work for your staff. And this particular leader at this bowling and snooker and whatever was working with the staff, and we did walkthroughs and we closed the doors and we did walkthroughs, and it was like, right, what can you see? What can you see? We worked as a team to make sure that what we thought was the best environment for the customers to come in, and the staff were feeling happy and the staff were feeling good. The manager, the boss man, he ain't going to be there because it's different hours. But it was about creating that harmony in the team, and the team were positive and the team had gone, yeah, actually we'd missed that and we'd missed that, and that's been good. So it comes back to building the brand, improving the image and creating a customer experience, taking you from where you are to where you want to be. Kind of cool. But that was great, and like I say, we're still working with the fish and chip shop, we're still working with the spa, we're still working with the garden centre, a couple of motor traders, and obviously a couple of hauliers. It's all business at the end of the day. So the last one to finish on, one of my favourites, is the sport. Now, as you said, if you watched the little intro, Ryan Vickers, the little hashtag #7 British Superbike rider, got a fifth up at Donington Park in some very challenging conditions. 1 minute it was raining, 1 minute it was dry, 1 minute it was a monsoon. Absolutely amazing young man. Got to spend some time with him during the week. Got to go out with some of our clay shooters. They're picking up, obviously the season's slightly changing, it's now the game season. So they're now concentrating, focusing on the spring and the first international, if it happens in March, April time. So they're practicing, they've gone back in. Sammy Bowler's been out in the little mini, she got another podium. Bobby Thompson got I think he got a 5th place in the British touring cars. He was battling, and when I watched it, because obviously the TVs aren't so great and you can't go and watch them anymore. As cyclist, I met up with young Ian, absolutely phenomenal. He's now gone on to do some of the veterans long distance, the extreme cycling, because it's easier for him, so that's been good. Our equine riders are going out, obviously the show jumping, the cross country, dressage, doing incredibly well. More rosettes going across our office and their office, which is absolutely lovely. We gained a couple of cricketers, I said to you in the last video, so they're practicing and they're working out how to do stuff indoors. And one thing that is quite good, we were talking to a golfer, and I said we in DKS went and did some stuff with a golfer. And it's very much about mindset. Every athlete understands the coaching. Every athlete that works with us understands the business development. And you're going to say, well, hang on then, they're working with you. They should do. And it's like, yeah, they should. Because it's about building a brand, improving an image, and creating an experience and a connection and advocates, fan base or customer base. It's about a mindset at the end of the day. It's what runs all the way through the DKS Group. We create solutions for you and your business to grow. We build the brand, we improve the image, and we create a customer experience, and we look at ways of creating that. So the athletes we've got on board are creating a brand. They're creating who they are, what they are, the way they walk, the way they talk, what they're known as. And it's like, I said, and a few people came back and messaged, and it was like, in each sport, you create your own persona. And as we said, Ryan Vickers, the British Superbike rider, has a hashtag number 7. The number plate's got Vickers on, the truck's got Vickers with the number 7 built into it. Jake Nichols, number 45, and it's always be on his kit, and some of them even have the tattoos of the race number because it's personal to them. And they create an image and they create a persona. It's like I said about little Sammy, our little feisty little redhead. Well, she knows that, and if you look at her race car, it's number 666. The Devil Child, and her little brand is the hat and the Sammy Bowler Racing, and the hat's got little devil horns over the O because it's 666. She's a feisty little redhead. Carl Bickley, our young speedway rider, if you look at him, everything's got a KB on, whereas I've got the DKS, he's got the KB, the Carl Bickley logo, just a very simple one. Now you take that to the other end of the scale, Scott Nichols, multiple British speedway champion, is now a TV pundit, but he is known now just for the, should we say, the highlighted silver, but also he wears a very unique shirt that is made for him. And he's sponsored by that company, and he's got a style and he's got a brand, and it's still Scott Nichols Racing when he gets back on the bike, but he's got that persona. And you look at all the great athletes, they've all got something. Barry Sheen had a little number 7 and a duck when he raced. Nigel Mansell had the number 5. David Beckham had the number 7. And they tend to try and create a persona of who they are, and what they do. And we mentioned the big man, the Shaquille O'Neal, the American basketball player. And in America, they have a make-a-wish for underprivileged or disability or needs. And kids make a wish and they get to go and meet their heroes. And we posted one on our Facebook page the other day of a young child that wanted to meet their superstar touring car driver, the Dutch touring car driver. And in America, it's massive. And I want you to just take a step and look at some of them. You might not think of it being special, but it's a make-a-wish. Nothing to do with us, but I want you to get the mindset in. Somebody terminally ill, their last wish or one of their wishes is to meet a superstar. Forget the celebrities, but look at what the sports people do. Look at what the NASCAR guys do, the basketball guys do. Look at what the wrestlers do. We all know Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He does more make-a-wishes than mainly anybody in America. But it's not just he turns up and he chats with them, he takes them out for dinner. Shaquille O'Neal takes them basketball. Carl Petty Racing takes them round in a NASCAR, takes them to the event. It's slightly different, they encapsulate them. Sport has this way of doing it. But every time they do make-a-wish, all the sponsors are there, all the partners are there, they all engage, whether it's basketball, whether it's racing, whether it's baseball, whether it's football, whether it's whatever they do. And over here in the UK, it's starting to grow a little bit, but the majority of them are going for sports athletes, men and women, and it makes a massive difference. And they're still all sponsored. The advertising, the marketing, the branding that goes into this. Every sponsor, every partner is gaining 24/7, 365 from being partnered in sport. So let's just finish this. At the end of the day, it's been an amazing week. We are phenomenally busy, and the more I look back at what we do and how we do it, DKS is in a very privileged place. We sit on various facets of business and we learn and we grow and we work with some amazing businesses going forward, sports venue, you know, normal high street retail businesses, and we look at coaching, we look at mindset, and we look at trucks. And I'm able to network and I'm able to live an amazing life. And at the end of the day, it's a simple ethos. It's something that we've built on for years, well, nearly 30 years I think it works out to. Creating solutions, so we look at something and we think outside the box. How can that be better? How can that be improved? What do you want? What do you need to do? What's the long-term goal? And we work on taking you from where you are to where you want to be. We build a brand, we improve an image, and we create a customer experience that will then mean that you can make more money, you can get more customers in. And we take best working practices from wherever we work and for whoever we work with. And sport is no different, business. So I'm going to finish with the same thing I always do. You as a business owner, create an environment for your staff to work. The better the environment, the safer the environment, the more your staff will work for you. They go to work to be led, and you are that leader. The leaders and the owners work for the staff. You work for the staff to make them feel safe. We've said that. The staff then work for the customers. They make the customers feel safe. They give the customers what they want. They create this warmth and they create this relationship, and they encourage the customers to come back in, and the customers work for the business. Of course they do. They bring the money in. But then you've got the advocates. Then you've got the customers that are going out social media and tweeting and saying, oh, I loved being there. It was great. It was this. It was that. What an amazing venue. They're your customer advocates. Say thank you to them. So it's simple. You create the environment. You work for your staff. The staff work for the customers. Customers work for the business. It's a slightly longer video this week because I've realised we've done a lot and I get a little bit passionate about some of the things that we do. So please bear that in mind. Enjoy the week. I know it's not a little bit of a breeze you can see in the background. Got the office sat behind. It's actually now gone into its area. So hence some of them now will be inside the office. The level bit got done. The big machine is actually sat here. The little machine's over there. It's levelled. Everything's good to rock and roll. Take care.